Hey guys, welcome to Super Important Reviews. My name is Steve, and in this video we're going over the Max Factory Figma 231 Guyver from Guyver the Bioboosted Armor, the new face of ultraviolence. If you guys haven't seen the anime, there's these 3 units called the Guyver units, which get taken by a test subject from the Kronos Corporation, which is the main bad entity in the anime, which eventually the test subject gets caught. He ends up killing himself, which spreads these 3 units across. And eventually one of them is found by Sho Fukumaji, which is kind of your average Japanese high school student, and he ends up fusing with the unit and makes the Guyver. Which the Guyver is pretty much a bioengineered weapon that ends up fusing with pretty much any host and gives them super strength, awesome powers. And it's pretty much the course of the anime, the Kronos Corporation really wants the Guyvers back, which eventually you find out there's 3 units and they make 3 Guyvers. And there's a bunch of chaos ensues, and it's just a really awesome anime. You guys need to go watch it. I know it's not the best explanation, but we're mainly here for the action figure, which I've been super excited about this. Which actually, my first introduction with the Guyver was with the American movies, with Mark Hamill being one of the supporting characters in the original one. Which I really loved that movie when I was a kid, and actually coming back to it now, it's pretty bad. But then I moved on to the mangas and the animes and just really fell in love with the character. And especially with the new anime, even though it doesn't actually finish, it's still a really awesome anime. You guys really should go check it out. And I've been really wanting a Guyver for my collection, with Max Factory putting out some of the earlier figures of these guys, but they are really super expensive and slightly larger than this guy, and I wish I would have one to compare with this guy. But sadly I don't, and I'm really glad that Figma decided to actually put out a cheaper version of the character just so I can have some way of getting a hold of this guy. And I can't wait to get this guy out of the packaging. So, first packaging, really like the coloring of it, even though it's pretty much the standard of what Figma does for a lot of theirs, where it has the black bottom and kind of goes with the coloring of the character on the side of the packaging with this nice teal color here. Sides here, you just get some nice pictures of the character in the packaging doing some dynamic poses. And then, same with the bottom, it's pretty much the exact same as the top. For the back of the packaging, just shows more poses and some of the stuff you get inside of the packaging. And a bunch of mumbo jumbo at the bottom I can't understand. So, let's get him open up out of his cardboard prison. So now that we got the Guyver open up out of his prison, you'll notice that he comes with a lot of accessories, which first we're going to go over the Figma bag, which is really nice that they give us something like this to help give us some added storage, especially if you don't want to be keeping the box, so that you won't lose a lot of your extra parts with this. And you can even label the bottom here, depending on which figure you're going to be using the bag for, so that's really cool. And then he comes with the Figma stand, which is really nice to help give him into a lot of varying poses. Which you'll notice here that he does stay in here pretty well, so it's not really necessary. But if you want to be getting him into his kind of gravity control kind of situation where he's levitating off the ground and whatnot, it's really nice to have the stand for that. And you'll notice back here on the Guyver there is a peg hole. And what you do is you just insert it into there. And I noticed that if you don't put it in very securely, it's going to get loose and fall off. So what I noticed is if you apply a little bit of force, it does stay in there pretty well, and you notice it's not really plopping off. So just make sure that you do get this on there very well before you decide to go make it all official posy and leave it on your shelf, just so that there isn't any damage that's going to be happening. Because one thing I do really worry about is this guy tips over. He has a lot of pointy parts that could randomly break off this guy. Also comes with this added peg, which helps to give you a little bit more posability, and all you really do is just stick it on the top here. Pretty simple stuff. And then it comes with 4 extra set of hands, which you get the kind of clenching hands, which are really good to get him into his Mega Smasher pose. You get these pair of open hands. You get a pair of kind of gripping hands, which don't really know why you fully need them, because there isn't really anything for him to be gripping on. And it's cool that they give it to us. And then he gets karate chop hands, which they all look very nice. Have a lot of very nice details, and the paint job on them is really good, and I really love pretty much each and every one of these hands. And I just lost one. And another thing too is nice is that it comes with an extra peg, so if you randomly break the hand when you're trying to swap out the hand pieces, they give you an extra one just as a precaution. So that's really nice, and it's also really tiny, and make sure you put this in the bag as soon as possible. And just to show you guys real quick on how you attach the hands, is you're just going to pick which hand you want to go with, grab the corresponding arm to go with it, and what you're going to want to do is make sure you grab right at the base of where the peg is right here, and then what you're going to want to do is just pretty much pull it apart, and it helps to wiggle a little bit, but once you damn it. There we go. Got the right peg out. And then what you're going to want to do is you just stick the other hand right on it. A little bit of squeezing and losing more parts off my Guyver. One thing I'll go over right now is that for his chest piece, it comes off really, really easy on mine. Especially for this one right here, which he comes with an extra one, which what's the difference is this chest piece that he comes with is closed. So just if you're not planning to use a Mega Smasher, this one actually looks a little bit better because it's fully enclosed. And what you do is you just pop the old one off and you just stick this one right in. And this one actually stays on there pretty securely on my Guyver. So I actually kind of prefer this one a little bit more, even though I'm probably going to be posing with the Mega Smasher, so it's not really going to be necessary, but it's still really nice that he comes with this. And one other thing to point out for the fixed breastplate here, really does help with his articulation a lot, because with it, it has a lot more of the spacing in here, so if you want to get him into his pressure cannon pose, you can, and it looks awesome. But for some of his other accessories, he comes with the Guyver unit, which looks really nice. Really love the way this turned out. And then this is going to be the top portion of it, as you see here, the control metal. And I really love the teal paint job on here and all the organic kind of tentacles going on inside of the Guyver unit. Looks really cool. And on the bottom here, the little metal piece is slightly different underneath, so it's really nice that this isn't just a copy paste of top and bottom. So I really love the Guyver unit and the way it turned out. And then he comes with this high frequency swords, which look really good. Same paint job that they got going on with the Guyver here. The one thing that I really would have think that would have made this stand out a lot better is if these were made out of like a blue translucent plastic. Just because in the anime you see it's always kind of like shining and a little bit off color to what the Guyver is. So it would have looked really nice if they would have kind of mimicked that with these little things. But they still look pretty cool. And then how you just attach them to the Guyver is that what you're going to want to do is just pop the little one off. You find the corresponding one to go with it, because each one has a slightly different size peg hole. So you'll see right here, this one lines up with it. And you just insert it into it. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for that. And same with this one, just pop it right out. Stick the new one in. But I noticed on mine is that just like the chest piece, the blades tend to want to pop out a little bit, which this one actually stays on there very securely, while this one doesn't stay in there very well at all. So it's kind of a bummer there, because it kind of hurts the playability factor of this guy a little bit. But it still looks really good on this guy, and I'm pretty much happy with all the way the accessories turn out. The one thing that's really lacking for me, though, on this guy in terms of just accessories is that it would have been really nice to have added some kind of special effects piece where, like with the SH figure arts and monster arts, where you kind of get like Godzilla's atomic blast or the Ultraman's like final finishing move. And he doesn't come with any of that, which for his Mega Smasher, for his chest, on the chest that he comes with in the packaging, it actually can open up to reveal his Mega Smasher, which looks kind of because it doesn't actually look like it's glowing, which on the box, it actually shows that it's more of a auburn color around here, which is a really big bummer, because at least that looks like it's active, while this one kind of looks like it's disengaged, which I could see being a major problem, because... Take this! Yeah! Wait a second. Hold on, guys, I'll kill you in a sec. If I could just get this stupid thing working and... guys? Now there's no reason to get ultraviolet. And if we just work out our differences and... Oh, creators! And what just would have been great is if he would have had something to go along with him. Like some kind of blast coming out of his chest would have been a great addition to this figure. Or even with his hands where they're doing the open palm, you could do his gravity unit. And you can see here the chest is popping off again. But he doesn't come with any of that, and I would have maybe have not really needed this piece or even the added chest piece if this one stayed in a little better. And they could have dumped these ones and gave me that accessory. I would have been just as happy with that. But to get into the actual figure here, I'm moving this stuff out of the way. The head sculpt on him turned out awesome. Really love the teal paint job on here and the way the control metal turned out. It has this nice metallic silver paint to it. And the same with the little orbs on the side here, turned out really good. Also really love the nice crimson red that he's got going on here. Eyes turned out really good. Really like the shade that they got going on. Same with the vibration globes on the inside. Really impressed that they got some nice silver paint in there as well. And overall, there's just really nothing really bad going on with the paint job at all at the head that's noticeable to me. Also, his chest turned out really nice, and even though I commented on the issue of this not really matching up with the packaging, it still looks pretty good. Has that nice skin texture you see from the anime in here, which conveyed really nicely on the figure. And I'm still really happy that he comes with this, because it's kind of his most iconic feature, so it's really great that the figure does come with that. It just, again, would have been really nice to have a special effects piece to go along with that. Just would have really made that stand out a lot more. And his body turned out really nice too. Really loved the way the organics look underneath for the armor. Turned out really awesome, and just very nice details in there. You can see down here he's got his gravity control medal, which is pretty cool. And then for his legs here, turned out really nice as well. Really, overall, just love this teal paint on here, where it's kind of brushed on over top, and you can see some of the darker paint underneath kind of conveying through, which is really nice and gives him this nice animated look to him. And then same for his feet here, which has his 2 toes, which is correct. And overall, the figure is very impressive looking. Like, even the arms turned out really awesome as well. Even has got little high frequency blades sticking out there. And the hand sculpts, again, look really good. And overall, in terms of detail, really am impressed with this figure overall. Just looks phenomenal. And is very akin to the SH Figure Arts line. The only real thing is in terms of scale, he's a little bit shorter than what you get with like the Ultra Act figures or most standard SH Figure Arts figures, which I'll go over in a little bit with the comparisons. And for his articulation, so I can look left, right, a little bit up, a little bit down, but the plastic in here kind of gets in the way. Damn you, little chest piece. Alright, for the remainder of the view, we're using you, buddy. There we go. And for the shoulder, you notice here it's its own separate piece, and it's kind of wrapping around the shoulder joint here. So it's very flexible and really helps with the articulation for the arm, which it can go all the way around, in and out. Has a rotation here at the upper part of the bicep. Also has a rotation here at the lower part of the bicep. Really nice bend to it. Hands are on a ball joint as well, so a lot of motion there. Really great. Then for his chest area, has a nice tummy crunch. Also has a articulation here at the upper part of his waist, which is really good. His legs here also can move outwards about yay far, which is really nice too, because part of the plastic here, it goes from plastic to being this soft rubber casing on top, so it gives you a lot of bendability to that, which is really nice. Also has a rotation. His leg can go forward, backwards, double joint at the knee, really nice. Well, I guess actually it's not really fully a double joint, but he has a lot of bendability there. It also has a little bit of a rotation here. And also has feet, can move down about that far, up about that far. Don't really notice a pivot here all that much, at least anything that really stays. And then at the toes, it can move up and down. So his articulation is awesome. Overall turned out really nice and is very akin to the SH Figure Arts line. And speaking of figure arts, here is compared next to the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2000 Millennium and the Ultra Gridman, or it may some of you know as Servos. Which, if it wasn't for his little crest, he would be smaller than Gridman and definitely smaller than Godzilla 2000. But it's not a huge difference, and overall in terms of articulation, he is very comparable to them. So overall with Figma, I still give them a plus. And here he is compared next to the NECA Dog Alien, because I always thought the Xenomorphs looked very similar to him. And here he is with some of my favorite anime figures in my collection with the Kaiudo's Evangelion Unit 1 and Unit 3. So overall, Guyver 1, his paint job and articulation are phenomenal. Pretty much everything I would want my Guyver figure to have, this guy has, except for accessories. Which on mine are a little bit loose, but they do stay on very well if he's kept very secure and not really playing around with them. But what's really lacking is some kind of special effects piece for his Mega Crusher, or even just the gravity ball for his pressure cane. It would have been really nice to have and made him an even more standout figure on your shelf than he already is. And overall, I still recommend him for you guys' collection, even with that lacking, because with the accessories come with, they are still very nice. And overall, I'm pleasantly surprised with the way this guy turned out. So if you guys are a big fan of Guyver and love anime, then you guys should really consider adding him to your collection. So what do you guys think? Have you guys picked up the Guyver? What's your favorite version? Or is Illinois just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. We'll have closer pictures on Facebook. If you want to click the link description below. Please don't be afraid to share this video around. And if you like this and want to see more stuff like this, please give us a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.